Hey y'all, well, today on the channel we got a lot of stuff coming at you. We got a whole bunch of thru-hiker updates straight from the Appalachian Trail, how things are going with them. Got a few more intros of folks that are getting ready to get on the trail, but of course we are right here at the beginning of the bubble, so those are going to be diminishing as we go because most people are going to be getting on. Probably going to still have some flip-floppers and Sobo. We got a lot of news coming at you as well, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So, who's up first? Well, we got Pale Rider. He got on trail, started on his NOBO hike, and it looks like he started from the arch. And then we got Taser. So Taser, she's a Woods Hole Weekend alumni. She got on trail, had to get back off for some family stuff, but she's getting back on, sends us this update.
Hey Ramdino, I'm sorry I didn't get something out sooner. I am off trail just briefly for some family things, and I'm a pretty slow hiker, so the weather that closed some of the roads, Forest Service roads, were going to be a concern. But I'll be getting back on the first weekend of March, like I think it's the 7th. But I'll give you another update when I get there. Take care.
Rick, he made it to Wine and Stair Gap, got a shuttle into Franklin, stayed at the Grove Hostel. So he was there and ran into Bag Bowl. Didn't send me a picture or video. That's all right. Y'all remember Bag Bowl is doing the Eastern Continental Divide Trail. So he started down in Key West. But in any case, he made it there, and they are back on trail, and Rick and Bag Bowl should be in Fontana any day now. And Big Fun, he reports in from Fontana. Looks like he had a pack explosion and bought one of each from the local Dollar General store there. Talk to us, Big Fun.
Hello, Ramdino. I am on day 10, and it's big fun on the Appalachian Trail. I started February 12th. It is now February 22nd, and I am taking my first zero at Fontana Dam. And because it's gonna snow tonight, I'm on the tail end of the blizzard that's heading up north. Meeting lots of wonderful people. I saw Subman. I saw a graybeard, and I mean, just the people are just so wonderful, so loving and kind. The generosity is amazing. It's truly magical. I'll probably be holed up here for a couple of days, but I was letting them see what the snow does, and I'm not as crazy as that guy coming from up north.
He did make it into the Smokies and actually has already made it out since that video. Sent a few pictures of that there, so that's awesome. Looks like the conditions were pretty chilly up there. Did say he had a couple times where he had some ice he had to navigate around, but otherwise everything was good to go. Blade Runner, he made it past that 100-mile mark. That is awesome. That's your first big, huge mark, I guess you will, if you say, if you just feel like you've accomplished something, even though you still got over 2,000 miles to go. But he made it there. Congratulations to him. He's still hiking with Cowboy and Not Yet, and they should be at the knot today, which means after today, they'll only be about 3 days away from Fontana, which is the doorway to the Smokies. Looking Glass, Cadence, Hog Country, they have made it to the Smokies, and they are taking that big old climb up, probably somewhere around Newfound Gap by now. Pepper Hikes and Subman, they check in from the Rhone.
Hello, Ramdino, from the top of Big Bald.
Hey, Ramdino.
We are having a blast. A hard 6.5-mile climb today, but let me tell you, it is worth every bit of it.
Subman and Prepper on this mountain.
We own it, baby. Appalachian Trail 2.0. Let's go.
That is my favorite spot so far on the trail. My favorite section is through the Rhone Mountain Highlands. You got to do that even if it's just for an overnighter. I would really suggest you try that one. And Grampy, he checks in from Springer, starting his NOBO hike on the Appalachian Trail.
Hey Ramdino, my name's Wes Hammock. I'm standing here at Springer Mountain, starting to head toward Maine. My trail name will be Grampy on Trail. This is February the 16th, about 5 after 9, headed for Maine. I'll let you know once a week what's going on. Appreciate it, and thank you for all you do.
Thunder Big Man, they are out there on the trail. They're somewhere past mile 106. They had a chance to run in and get fed by fresh ground. That is a huge treat for anybody. Of course, they're hiking with Storm, their four-legged friend, and they say Storm is ready for a play date with Daisy. Don't know if that's going to happen anytime in the near future. We'll see what we can do about making those arrangements. Eldon, he has made it out there on trail. He is in North Carolina by now. So he has gotten his trail name of Elvis, and that was given to him by none other than Graybeard. So Graybeard is reclaiming the title of the oldest person to thru hike. I think he's done by now, because the last couple updates that other people ran into him was way down south, almost to Springer. So, but Elvis, he should be in North Carolina. He says the water sources are great. Everything behind him in the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club and the maintainers down there have been doing a great job maintaining the trail. Mo and Joe, they check in right from the trail.
Hi Ramdino, it's Mo and Joe here. We met you in 2024 at Woods Hole Hostel. That's where we met. We kept in touch, so we're on our thru hike. Third day in from Springer. Beautiful 3 sunny days. And we got to Woody Gap and had some beautiful trail magic from Rain Man, who I think you know. Trail conditions are wonderful. The water is flowing, all the water is pretty good. The hostels are great, and we look forward to our 0 day in about 3 days at the Green Dragon Hostel. So thanks again for everything you do.
Hey, Ramdino.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
And of course, both of those are from Woods Hole Weekend alumni. And once again, that is neat to see them. Looks like they are having a blast out there. So we got a couple intros out there on the trail. First up, we got Do Good.
Hello, Ramdino. It's Bill from Northern Virginia. I'm starting my Appalachian Trail the second week of February. Looking forward to the challenge. That's my why, is want to finish this for myself and the challenge of completing the Appalachian Trail and being a thru hiker. And I want to see you out there, Ramdino. Maybe we can hike together in Northern Virginia or West Virginia. I challenge you to meet up with me. We can spend some time hiking. I would love that. And I have a YouTube channel. It's Steps Make Memories with Bill G. Steps Make Memories with Bill G. And like, subscribe, and follow me. I appreciate y'all.
And we got Beth. She reports in with her intro.
Hi Ramdino, I'm Beth and I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2026. I'm so excited to get started on my NOBO hike. I'll be starting in mid-March alongside my husband Tony and our family dog Cooper. We're currently in southern Vermont enjoying a little bit of snow and getting all ready for trail. Thank you for all you do for the hiking community. I enjoy listening to your updates. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to take a hike. Come follow me on the trail. My YouTube channel is Beth on the Trail. See ya.
Got quite a few hikers out there that are hiking with dogs this year. So certainly that's not unusual, but it just seems like we've had more on the channel this year than we've had before. Hey, look who joined us. So we got Candy Corn. She sends in her intro.
Hi Ramdino, this is Candy Corn from Michigan, and I have Roland with me. I'm not sure if you can see us or not because it's so bright I can't see the screen on my phone. Anyways, hi Daisy. We just want to say hi and introduce ourselves and tell you that I am going to be hiking the Appalachian Trail this year, right? Right. Okay, so we're going to post videos on Laura's Sweet Adventures on YouTube, and well, we can't wait to see some other people out there and enjoy that trail. So bye.
And Sarge, he is going to make another attempt on the AT, sends us his intro.
Hey Ramdino, hey everybody, this is Sarge. Some may recognize me from last year. I had a different trail name then, but I was hiking the trail last year, mile 300. I injured myself in about 20 so miles or whatever. After that I had to get off, but I am restarting the trail from Springer, and as of the filming of this video I am currently on the trail. So anybody who cares to follow along with my journey, Sarge Outdoors on Facebook, Sarge Outdoors on YouTube, and Sarge PowerFit on Instagram. Thank you.
So typically every year I have some folks out there on the trail that are in the know, spend a lot of time out there on the trail. A lot of them are trail maintainers. Some of them are actually ridge runners. And this year I had a contact that was going to just give us simple updates of, you know, how things are going on the trail for hikers, shelter capacities, water sources, just stuff like that. Nothing that would be, you know, anything that would be secret that the ATC or the National Park Service would, I presume, wouldn't want to get out there. But unfortunately, they've locked them down. Not going to say who it was because I don't want to narc on them and them get in trouble. Unfortunately, the ATC and the National Park Service has told them not to give out any information that they haven't given out themselves publicly. So obviously, I had hoped that the ATC with the new president CO, things were going to be a little different. Looks like it's maybe even locked down even more because in the past I've gotten information from people. Now they say nope, no information. Never have gotten that from the National Park Service, particularly in the Smokies before. So I don't know what's going on with guys out there. I've never said a cross word about the Smokies and the National Park Service there, but in any case, it doesn't matter. The heck with those people, the heck with the ATC and the National Park Service. You guys always keep us up to date anyway, so please report anything you see going on in the Smokies. The trail conditions is what I'm really looking for. Shelter capacity. If there's any weird stuff going on as well, send those to me. We're going to make sure we get all that information out because that's just stuff that the people coming behind you or people in front of you, Sobo coming this way or flip-flopping need to know. So be sure and send all that in, and we're not going to worry about the ATC and the National Park Service. I'm still not saying a cross word about them. I'm just stating facts there for that. So send all that in. We'll make sure all that information gets out. So we had a couple rescues over the past week. We had one at Double Spring Shelter there in the Smokies. And it sounds like they classified it as severe cold injuries is why the hiker had to be evac'd. Don't know if it was a thru-hiker or not. Hope it wasn't a thru-hiker, that they would be more prepared. But basically it sounds like they had hypothermia and they couldn't get out. Of course, there's not any, there's newfound gap in the middle of the park, and then there's only roads on each end of the park to get people out. So they had to get a helicopter in there to get this person out. Sounds like that he pushed his get off the trail button on his inReach GPS locator and called folks in there, and so they sent a chopper in there to get him out. So he was airlifted out and took to the ER, and he was good to go from that. Then we also had another hiker that had to be rescued in Georgia, so that down at Hawk Mountain. So Hawk Mountain is like only like 12 miles in. And apparently this hiker just couldn't make it any longer. So obviously that hiker didn't know their limits if they hiked into Hawk Mountain at only 12 miles in. They were dehydrated. Go over a few other things that they mentioned there, but they said that the Fannin County 911 had to be called in for a 46-year-old male. I'm 61, so I might have an excuse, but no, I don't. I don't have an excuse either. I need to be prepared better than that. But they say they got him in there. He was non-ambulatory, so he was in bad shape. And so they had to put him in a Stokes basket. Then they had to walk him some distance to a point where then they had to highline him out, which means they put that Stokes basket on a rope to get across a valley or a gorge area or something like that. Then they had to get him to an area landing zone or a place. It wasn't really a landing zone. It was a place where they could get the chopper to get a cable down through the canopy to get him out of there. Fortunately, it was winter, so there's not a lot of leaves on the trees, but they still had to hoist him up through the trees. And so that's not a fun situation to go up and be banging into limbs and branches and everything for the rescuer coming down, but for him going up. And another really dangerous thing about that is that the helicopter has to hover. Now, helicopters are made to hover, no doubt. But helicopters, if they can, they want to maintain at least a little bit of airspeed velocity, front velocity, because if they have an immediate malfunction, that they have to auto-rotate, and that's a maneuver that they pull to get the helicopter to land safely with no engine at all. The engine's not running at all, but they can still land. But you got to have some forward momentum to do that, and without that, you're just dropping like a rock pretty much. And plus, they're right over the tree canopy, and so that is a very, very dangerous situation. And so I say all that to say, don't be that person that puts rescuers and equipment and yourself in a dangerous situation like that. And so just come prepared, know your limits. Couple of things they said was that they said hikers should be reminded to stay hydrated, know your physical limits, share your hiking plan with someone, carry adequate supplies, and communication. So that tells me that he didn't have enough water, he didn't know his limits, he or she. It didn't say if it was a, I don't believe it said if it was a he or she. Wait a minute, yeah, it did say it did say he was transferred. So just don't put other rescuers out there. No matter if you're in somewhere where you got hypothermia, come dressed for that. Come dressed for the rain. Come hydrated. Come with water. There's plenty of water sources around Hawk Mountain there. There's a water source. There's a creek nearby. There's other hikers this time of year. No real reason for that to go on. So think about others out there. We want everybody to get out and enjoy God's creation, enjoy it. We want you to enjoy yourself, but we got to be smart. We got to think about others as we're going out there. And then Joe Morris, who's the trail boss for Tennessee Eastman Hiking Club. They are the trail maintainers for the Tennessee section and did such an awesome job getting it cleared from Helene so that hikers could get through last year. And of course, this year they're still out there doing some clearing work because there's trees constantly coming down. And Joe wanted me to communicate to everybody that, hey, there could be some issues out there because trees are still coming down. And here comes Daisy. Hey, Daisy. And trees could still be coming down, and they are coming down. They are trying to clear as many tent sites as they can around there, around the shelters and around the stealth sites. But there's still stuff going to be come down. So be careful, look up, don't want any dead man up there above you to come out of the trees from your camping spot. And so be careful with where you set up your tent. Even be careful around the shelters. We communicated last week, we had a shelter that was closed because a tree came down at it. So you guys got to think about that as you're getting out there. We don't want anybody hurt, don't need anybody out there being rescued. Last week we had a hiker report in at one of the shelters that there was a blowdown at the shelter, and so Joe and his team already got out there and took care of that. Thanks for reporting that in. I passed that along. They've already got out there. Y'all can continue to do that. Here is also a link where you can do that directly to Joe. If you would, give him a mileage position of where that particular blowdown is on the trail, and if you could take a quick picture with a person or even a tracking pole leaned up against that blowdown so that they know what type of chainsaw, or if it's a big one, how many people to come in there that they're not going to need help with. That would greatly help them get that cleared for everybody. They are very diligent about keeping the trail open. They love hikers. They love the trail. This is what they do. And so please, if you could help out Joe and his team of the Tennessee Eastman Hiking and Canoeing Club, that would be awesome. So we got a lot of blowdowns from Vandervilter Shelter on into up towards Damascus. This is a wilderness area. It's NOBO mile 438 to 444. So it's from Vandervilter on into the wilderness boundary. That is to be cleared by the Southern Appalachian Wilderness Stewards or SAWs. Because it's a wilderness area, they cannot use motorized chainsaws. They have to use crosscut saws, which is very slow, or hand saws, what have you, but they have not gotten in there yet. Don't know when it's going to happen. Probably going to be next week at least, but in any case, just understand those are going to be in there. You can report those to Joe and he'll pass those along, as will I'll be glad to pass those along as well. Last week, David Lloyd had sent us some information that there is a prescribed burn that's going to be happening, and he had sent us a picture there of where that there had, they said you can't go behind this notice there, and that was around NOBO mile 122 to 123.4. And so they're going to be having some burns there. The notice said you can't go through there, and he had actually went and scouted out a workaround for that, and that was using a nearby fire road. But the ATC communicated on their site this week that that you're not going to have to avoid that area. It's not going to be closed. However, U.S. Forest Service fire crews may have you wait for just a few minutes. A few minutes, don't know how long that means. A few minutes could be 2 minutes, could be 60, could be 120, don't know. However, they're not going to close it completely, so you could be able just to go on through there. And they did note that there was an earlier version of this alert stated that the AT was going to be closed, and that's incorrect. It is not going to be closed from there. They did want to send in, there is a dangerous ford update. So the AT footbridge there at Lick Creek, which is about 5.5 miles north of the AT trailhead at Virginia Highway 42. That's at the old Listeria Picnic Pavilion there, and that's NOBO mile 564. There, that is a ford. So Lick Creek Bridge got washed out many years ago, and it's still there, but it's up against the bank on the opposite side. So it's a ford. When I went through there, it was only ankle deep, really. So unless they've had a lot of rain, you could wear your Crocs through there and be fine. The problem is that Hurricane Helene dropped a bunch of trees that across the river, across the creek, just right up upstream of that. And so apparently some people have been using the logs on those trees to rather than ford and get wet, to walk across that. That is very dangerous. You can, that's not a great log. They've got a lot of great logs. You can slip and fall through them. If you fall through them, you're going to be in the water. It's deeper there. There's what's called strainers downstream for that. So a strainer would be other logs or other brush that can catch you, pull you under, and keep you under and kill you. And then also those logs could shift. And that's how I wound up with a titanium plate hardware update to my left wrist from Hurricane Helene in 13 screws, standing on one log trying to saw a tree down on my property here. And so you don't want to go through that. You sure as heck don't want to be held in the water by a strainer. So just use the ford. Don't use those logs. That's just too dangerous. Not worth somebody getting wet. And this time of year, it's pretty dang cold anyway. And then I talked last week that because of my diagnosis that my cancer is benign, and actually that means I've got no cancer. A lot of you folks prayed for me over that. A lot of folks sent in great wishes. Thank you for all that. Thank you for your prayers. I believe the Lord healed me from that. And I told Trail Boss, when I get done with this, good, bad, or indifferent, this was before I got my diagnosis, that I'm hitting the El Camino. Well, I'm hitting the Camino de Santiago. I'm doing the Francés. And end of mid-April on into May. Looking for any recommendations of albergues not to miss there from folks that have already done that. Some folks have sent those in. Thanks a lot for that. Looking for more not to miss places there. And also, I got 2 stressors you can help me out with. One of them is reserving ahead for the albergues, to do it or not to do it, and what's the best way to do it. I know there's those apps out there, but some of them are not really intuitive. So anything you could help me out with that would be great. What works best? Don't speak much Spanish at all. No habla, gracias. And the other thing is, we're going to be coming in from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France. So I've got to, Trail Boss is going with us, going to spend a few days there in Paris. And so I've got to drop her off there at the airport, and then Chance, my son and I are going to the Camino from there. I need to know how to get to the train station from the airport to get on down to, St. John, Pied-de-Port, is where the Camino, where we're starting down there on the French side. So anything you can do to help me, give me directions for that, would be from how to get to, from the Charles de Gaulle Airport to the train station, to how do you get the train tickets and all that neat stuff. So I know there's a lot of research out there, but I want to hear from you because y'all are such a supportive community that does so much for me, and that's why I keep doing what I do for y'all and the thru-hikers out there. Folks, that's all I got this week. As always, appreciate you, and we hope to see you out here.